Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, we are going to set the record straight once again on this clown Omar Raj, or whatever the hell this dude's name is, from the House of Highlights, the founder of the House of Highlights. The guy who's never played basketball a day in his life, never played sports growing up until the dude was born in, I think, 1994. Doesn't know the NBA before 2010. It's clear as day. This man was not watching basketball before 2010, but yet still he has a lot of things to say about people who played basketball before 2010. And I was sent this clip of him, once again, another nonsensical clip of him holding his phone to his ear on speaker while some clown gives him a hot take, and then he defends the hot take with some nonsensical emotion and opinion. He never gives you any facts. I haven't seen this guy post a single fact yet. He just gives you a lot of opinions based off opinions that he has no clue about, no perspective or context, because he wasn't around to watch this stuff and he don't know the game like that. So like I said, shout out to Zizzle Plays for sending me this clip of this clown Omar talking about how the 1992 Dream Team would get destroyed by the 2008 Redeem Team. They would just destroy them, man. It's not even a contest, according to these guys. That's the disrespect towards a team like the 92 Dream Team. It wouldn't even be close. They would destroy them. They would crush these guys, man. And this guy, Omar, saying a bunch of nonsense to try to explain it, guys. I told you, a bunch of weird opinions and emotions. No facts here, guys, and we're going to talk about this video. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states have been supporting my channel. Once again, you guys know I am truly, truly humbled, man, by all support. Shout out to everybody in the membership, man. Thanks to all you guys that come through the live streams, send me the messages, the emails, comments, all that stuff, guys. It means a lot, man. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I want to talk about this dude, Omar Raj. I believe that's his name, the founder of House of Highlights. I told you, guys, doesn't know a damn thing about basketball for 2010. This kid never played sports, man. I'm telling you guys right now, these people are not competitors. They don't know what it means to be a competitor. They don't know what it means to compete in sports. They just don't. I can tell, man, by the way these people are speaking, the way these people are trying to talk about these past eras. There's no respect there. And the reason they don't respect them is because they don't know. So you don't even know why you should be respecting them. Right? Like I said, they don't care. They just don't care because they don't love the game like that. And they don't respect the game like that because they didn't play the game like that. They just not. That is not, guys. These guys don't play sports, man. Right? And this guy, like I said, I was sent the clip of this dude talking about the 1992 Dream Team versus 2008 Redeem Team. Now, we've heard people talk about this before, these comparisons, you know, which team was greater, which team was better, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant who was greater or better, who would win a matchup. The thing that bothers me when people talk about this potential matchup, a hypothetical scenario, who was better, whatever, is that they try to exaggerate the 2008 Redeem Team and say that they would destroy the 92 Dream Team. So they're not saying that, though, it would be a good matchup. I'm picking the Redeem Team over the 92 Dream Team, but I think it would be close. These guys say it's not even close. Oh, they destroyed them, man. 92 Dream Team, these guys are old, man. They couldn't compete with those guys. Those guys weren't even playing basketball. This is what they try to say. So they're not giving you any really factual evidence to support why they would say that. They're giving you, once again, emotions and their opinion on based off these emotions. Nothing factual here. And what else do they do? Like this guy Omar Raj did in this 1-minute clip. He proceeded to tear down the competition of the 92 Dream Team to once again lift up the 2008 Redeem Team. This is a classic LeBron James fan tactic, right? They must tear down the past eras, tear down the past players, their competition. None of this stuff was valid. It wasn't relevant. None of it was all garbage. That's the only way that they can explain Michael Jordan's championships. That's the only way they can explain why these guys were so great and why they're viewed this way. They didn't play against anybody. They're only great because the competition was less. The game wasn't as, skilled. These guys weren't as fast or bigger, stronger. That's nonsense. That's opinions and that's your emotions. That's not the truth. That's not reality. That's not the facts. So this guy Omar Raj did classic Omar Raj stuff, classic LeBron James fan stuff, gave you a bunch of weird opinions and emotions, no factual evidence, nothing tangible that you could look at and be like, yeah, man, he's got a great point here. Nothing, man. So I wrote down some of the things that he said in this clip to highlight the nonsense I'm talking about. All right? I think we can all agree that the 92 Dream Team was a legit group of legit NBA players. This is a legit team, man. right? People argue that it's the greatest assembly of talent in NBA's history, of basketball talent in the history of the NBA, the 92 Dream Team. Because those guys had no weaknesses. They could do everything and anything on the court in all aspects. They had guys that could do everything. And not only that, it's the intangibles of the 92 Dream Team, of those guys that played on that team, that the 2008 team and some of these other teams, they just don't have it. They don't have the intangibles that they don't think about, they don't mention or talk about for some of these other teams. Right? So we're going to touch on this. Now, the first thing that he did was, once again, he tried to pump up. Excuse me here, guys. I wrote down some stuff here, guys. I want to make sure I had everything he said. Now, what he tried to do first is make it about how great the Olympic competition was compared to what the 92 Dream Team was dealing with, right? And once again, this is what I highlight. So I'm telling you guys, he wasn't born. He was born in 94, guys, all right? So 1992 was 2 years before he was even born. Are we to believe that Omar Raj was taught the game by his parents? Right? I mean, really, are we supposed to say that? I mean, he looks Indian or some kind of Pakistani or something like that. I'm not knocking his culture or anything like that. But those people are not known for playing basketball, man. That's not important in their culture. How many teams have you got? How many teams does Pakistan have in the Olympics for basketball? Or Afghanistan? Are they have a basketball team? Or India? How great is their basketball team, man? So I'm really confused here. This dude is not playing basketball, was not raised, or, like I said, my dad taught me the game. I watched my dad play basketball growing up, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I remember this stuff, guys. Do you think this guy Omar Raj was watching his dad play basketball at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old? Was he doing that? No, he wasn't doing that, man. These guys only know what they looked at from Nick Wright or Shannon Sharp, what they heard on the internet, what they Googled up, right? But they went to basketballreference.com and searched up. These guys have no context behind the numbers they give you or some of the statements that they say. Doesn't add up. So he starts talking about the lack of competition for the 92 Dream Team versus the 2008 Redeem Team. These are some of the once again, your lack of competition based off of what? Based off of you not knowing the competition. It's the same thing we get from LeBron James fans when they knock LeBron James teammates, right? They'll say, oh, who are these guys? A bunch of bums. No, they're bums to you because you don't know them, because you don't know the game. So you don't know about Mo Williams, right, or Antoine Jameson, or Larry Hughes, right? They're just bums to you guys. Everyone's a bum that LeBron James played with because they didn't have a big name, because they weren't an all-NBA player. They're just bums now. So Drizzle Gals is a bum. Drew Gooden's a bum. All these guys are just trash. Meanwhile, these were quality basketball players. They were role players that could have played a certain role, and they did play certain roles for LeBron James, but LeBron James' teammates never want to give them their just due or any credit. They're always just bums, these guys. It's the same thing they're doing here for the 92 Olympic team versus the Redeem team. They're greater because their competition was better. That doesn't make any sense. Because if Michael Jordan played in an era with plumbers and taxi cab drivers, then that means that his dream team was full of a bunch of guys that were not that great. So I don't understand how we're knocking the competition of the Olympics. Meanwhile, we're saying that the competition in the NBA wasn't great either. I don't get this. Where's the competition then? So you're saying to tell me, Omar Raj and all you other soft fools out here, that NBA basketball just started in 2010? That's when competition started? That's when they started actually playing basketball? That's when all of a sudden it actually became a real game of basketball. These guys weren't playing basketball before that. That's the way they make it seem. There's no competition anywhere. Not in the Olympics, not in the NBA, nowhere. It's just a joke everywhere of a league. It makes no sense. I'm saying, guys, when you have to go through that kind of extreme, keep tearing down the competitions over and over again, that lets you know that the competition really was stiff and that there was a legit, rival competition going on here, because they keep trying to tear it down. That's how great the Dream Team was. The Dream Team was so great, they had to tear down their competition by saying these guys weren't playing against anybody. That's why they were blowing teams out. No, the reason why they were blowing teams out, Omar Raj and a lot of you other fools out here don't understand or get the 92 Dream Team, is because they had to. They had to blow teams out. You know what's funny? You hear a lot of people talk about, oh, the Dream Team this, the Dream Team that, and they'll say, oh, they were playing against nobodies, and, these teams that they were going against, a lot of these teams, they wanted to take pictures with them more than they wanted to play against them, because they respected what those NBA players did for the game of basketball, for the sport of basketball. A lot of those guys that they were playing against, they were playing basketball because they watched them growing up. Right? They watched the other guys like Larry Bird and Magic Johnsons. They watched these guys for all those years. Right? So now they're getting a chance to play against them. So once it was an honor for them to be on the court, but why is it an honor for them to be on the court, those guys? Because they respected those players. That was the whole thing with Charles Barkley, right? Charles Barkley, he was acting a certain way. He was a little brash, right? He was real loud and aggressive, Charles Barkley, right? So sometimes people took that the wrong way. You know, he was rubbing people the wrong way. And they said, oh, look at these loud, aggressive Americans. This is what we were known for, being loud, in your face, right? Very prideful in our country, right? But we known for being tough and like that. That was Charles Barkley. So some of the other teams were taken aback by Charles Barkley acting this way because they all respected the USA team and there was no animosity or hatred towards the USA team. There wasn't anything like that. But Charles Barkley, that's the way he was. So some of these teams were surprised to have Charles Barkley coming at them like that because they did not feel that way about the USA team. They respected the hell out of those guys. But at the same time, they weren't taking those guys lightly. That's why they blew them out. They respected the competition, the USA Dream Team, so much, they didn't take those guys lightly. Oh, we're playing against Angola. Oh, we're playing against Puerto Rico. Oh, we're playing against this team or that team. We don't have to worry about them because they don't have anybody on that team. That's not what they thought. That's not how they approached the game. Every game that they played, every team that they went against, they took it as a competitive challenge to try to top what they did the game before. Because that's the pressure that they were under. That's the standard that they were being held to. They were being held to the highest standard of all time. The 92 Dream Team. There was no opportunity for them to have a little fall off. If they were beating teams by 20 points, 25 points per game, that would not have been impressive. The pressure was on the USA Dream Team to dominate by 40 plus, the way they did. That showed respect because they showed up and gave it their all against those guys because they had an obligation to the rest of the world to show the rest of the world we ain't playing no games out here in USA. We are like that. If you guys want to compete and come in the NBA, then you have to raise your level up because this is what we do in America. This is how we do in the USA. This is how we play in the NBA. I always tell you guys a famous quote from Tony Kukoc, who played against the United States in that Dream Team, right? And we're going to go over this, some of the players that they went against and how this competition was not crap like this man said, this dude, Clown Omar said. But I'll never forget that quote from Tony Kukoc, and I told you this guy's quote before. In 92, when Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan were hounding Tony Kukoc, right? And the other teammates of Tony Kukoc on the Croatian team did not understand what was going on. So I told you, story goes, Tony Kukoc tells the story. They go to halftime, and Tony Kukoc's teammates come up to him in halftime, and they're like, yo, what did you do to these guys that they're all over you like this? They were basically saying like, damn, these guys are hounding you. They're all over you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just chasing you up and down the court. It looked personal. So they asked Tony Kukoc about it, like, yo, what's up with these guys? They're all over you, man, blah, blah, blah. And Tony Kukoc's response to them, to me, one of the great responses, man, and I have so much respect for Tony Kukoc when he says this, and it shows the level of competitor that he was. He says, I don't know, I guess that's just how they play defense in the NBA. That was his response, guys. He didn't think, oh, man, I was drafted by Chicago Bulls, or, you know, these guys play for the Bulls and Jerry Krause and me have a relationship and they don't like Jerry Krause and maybe they don't like me. He wasn't worried about none of that, concerned about any of that kind of stuff. What he said to his teammates was, I don't know, I guess that's how they play defense in the NBA. Because the NBA was the gold standard. They were the ones that everyone was looking up at. Not because the rest of the world had no skills and these guys didn't know how to play basketball. It's because the guys in the NBA, the players that played in that league, they had proven and shown that they're the greatest players in the world. And if you want to play in the NBA, then you got to be tough. You have to have skills. You have to be like that. Right? Not anyone could just play in that league, man. And these are the greatest players of that league, and they're proving it right there. So he said, I guess this is what they do in the NBA. This is the level of defense that they play out there. I guess we're not used to this kind of stuff. And they're not. No one's used to having Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen hound you full court for a whole game. No one can deal with that. None of these players in today's NBA would be okay with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen taking tag teaming you, taking turns, guarding you all up and down the court, man. No one's going to want to deal with that kind of level of a hounding and that level of aggression, right? What these guys could do. No one's going to deal with that stuff. Not just some 92 guys that are just bums from other countries. So to me, that was a great quote from Tony Kukoc. But this guy Omar Ryan started talking about all the players that the Redeem Team played against. Oh, the Redeem Team had to go against Marc Gasol, Pau Gasol, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. Right? He listed those guys' names, and he said them as like, yeah, those guys are really good players, no doubt about it. But are we supposed to act as if those guys are the greatest players of all time of international play? No. Come on, man, what are we doing here? And you're going to say and act like as if the Dream Team in 92 wasn't going against anybody? You see, this is where you expose yourself as not knowing the history of the game, not doing your homework, not being honest, and just, like I said, just being a stupid young goof with no perspective or context. Because you don't want to give context, because context negates your points. So you listed some of these players. Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Marc Gasol, and Pau Gasol. Those are the players that he listed that the USA Redeem Team had to go against. My God, how can you beat those teams with those guys? Insane. So let me name some of the players that the 92 Dream Team went against, guys, and you tell me these names are not comparable? Detlef Schrempf for Germany. Detlef Schrempf, pretty damn good player, man. Are you kidding me? I could definitely argue Detlef Schrempf was better than Marc Gasol or Pau Gasol or Manu Ginobili. I don't know if I could argue he was better than Tony Parker. But those guys, he's arguable are better than those guys, man. Easily. I'm saying Detlef Schrempf in this era is going to be one of the great players, guys. One of the great players. He was Dirk Nowitzki. Before Dirk Nowitzki, he said he was a better ball handler to me than Dirk Nowitzki was. And a better passer than Dirk Nowitzki was. Couldn't shoot like Dirk Nowitzki, no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? But to me, he might have been a better rebounder than Dirk Nowitzki. From Germany, 6'11", could shoot the threes. This is Detlef Schrempf, guys. In the 90s, he played against the Dream Team. In 1992 for Germany. Really good player. But this guy, Omar Raj, won't mention Detlef Schrempf. No respect for Detlef Schrempf because he has no clue who Detlef Schrempf is. No clue. Detlef Schrempf could walk down and walk past him in the streets. Omar Raj would have no idea who this guy Detlef Schrempf is, man. No idea. You could show him Detlef Schrempf's playing card with his name on it, and he still wouldn't know who he was. All right, guys? These are the facts here. All right? They played against a guy named Drazen Petrovic. I don't know if you guys remember Drazen Petrovic. To me, that might be the greatest player that they went against, Drazen Petrovic. Who is better than Drazen Petrovic that he named? Manu Ginobili, better than Drazen Petrovic? It's a close one, man. Tony Parker? We can go back and forth with that. Marc Gasol? Pau Gasol? Nah, man. To me, Drazen Petrovic, like I say, without that car race, that tragic death of Drazen Petrovic, he's one of the all-time great shooting guards in the history of the NBA, guys, and one of the greatest international players to ever play in the NBA. Drazen Petrovic. Do these names not ring bells? Do you not know who Drazen Petrovic is? So the USA Dream Team, 92 Dream, they didn't play against anybody. And not only did they have to go against Drazen Petrovic, on the same team, they had Tony Kukoc. So you had Tony Kukoc and Drazen Petrovic on the same team. And this was a young Tony Kukoc, man, who had been dominating the Euro leagues up until that 92 time. So once again, we talk about Tony Kukoc and what he could do at a young age. He was a Croatian sensation for a reason, guys. This dude was sensational. He could do all kinds of things on the court at 6'10", 6'11". So you're talking about Tony Kukoc and Drazen Petrovic on the same team, and the USA Dream Team beat that team twice, guys. That's called competition. That's called greatness right there. Those guys are good players, man. How about Vlade Divac? They go against Vlade Divac, a really good player, right? Dino Raja, Sarunas Marciulionis. Like, these are really good players, man. These are not just some also-ran, some so-so guys, some bums. How about Arvydas Sabonis, who you can argue is the greatest European player of all time? Arvydas Sabonis, they played against him on the Lithuania team. I mean, Marc Gasol is not Arvydas Sabonis. Pau Gasol is not Arvydas Sabonis, guys. As any European person that knows about European basketball, and you talk about Arvydas Sabonis and what he could do, the injuries derailing his career, I mean, come on, man. Like I said, you could argue that Arvydas Sabonis and Drazen Petrovic are the greatest two players out of that list of players I mentioned for both teams to face. But you're talking about who they faced in the 92 Dream Team didn't play anybody. I just named a bunch of guys here. I named more guys than he named in his clip. Come on, man. Like I said, arguably my guys are greater. The guys that I named are better, greater players than the guys that he named. Once again, you just name it. So they start talking about how the Redeem Team in 2008, once again, we're going back to the bigger, stronger, faster. They said they're more athletic. They have more speed. They can shoot better. They have better shooting. I'm confused on the Redeem Team here, man. I don't like the 92 Dream Team didn't have shooting. And then the first thing my man goes to is Larry Bird's back was bad. Right, Larry Bird's back was done. Magic Johnson didn't even play basketball the year before. I mean, then once again, you're making up all these scenarios, once again, just to try to create a narrative that the 92 Dream Team is not that good because Larry Bird had a bad back or was older. I keep telling you fools, it's the intangibles of the 92 Dream Team that a Redeem Team cannot shine the shoes of. It can't touch. When you have guys like Carmelo Anthony on your team, when you have guys like Dwight Howard on your team, when you have guys like LeBron James on your team, that's not impressive to me because a lot of those guys, to me, are not great players as far as intangibles go. The leadership lacking qualities of these guys, the heart and toughness of a lot of these guys. It's not there to me. He mentioned Chris Paul. Great for Chris Paul. Chris Paul's a classic choker. Classic choker. I mean, so really, we're pumping up Chris Paul? So if Chris Paul's playing the point guard position, he got to go against John Stockton, man. What are we doing here? I just don't get this. Like I said, John Stockton, to me, was a greater player than Chris Paul, guys. And like I said, John Stockton was tougher, more durable, and much more clutch than Chris Paul's ever been. Ever been. So I'm not impressed with Chris Paul leading the charge against the 92 Dream Team. And like I said, he started talking about, once again, he had to say LeBron James could guard 1 through 5. They always have to let you know that. Oh, LeBron James could guard all positions. That's what he said in his clip. He could guard all positions. He said Dwight Howard controlling the paint versus David Robinson and Patrick Ewing. Dwight Howard's in a lot of trouble, man. And I respect Dwight Howard's rebounding, his shot blocking, his defensive prowess, no doubt. But offensively, Dwight Howard has no offensive game. Zero offensive game. What is Dwight Howard doing offensively against Patrick Ewing or David Robinson? Or Charles Barkley or Karl Malone for that matter. What is he doing against guys offensively? Not a goddamn thing, guys. Not a damn thing. Because his offensive game wasn't like that. He's not going to drop step them guys and dunk all over them like that. He's going to catch alley-oop dunks on them all game long. No, he's not, guys. He's not going to be able to post up Patrick Ewing and David Robinson all game long. He's not going to do this. He just won't. He'll be able to do something defensively and hold his own defensively against some of these guys, but Patrick Ewing's overall offensive game and David Robinson's overall offensive game, down low, Karl Malone, down low offensively. Look, who's guarding Charles Barkley on that team? You know, he's sort of making these claims of who's guarding this guy, who's going to stop Dwayne Wade or LeBron James or Kobe Bryant. And I respect the hell of Kobe Bryant being on that team. We all know that that's why the Redeem Team was who they were, because Kobe Bryant came through for them against Spain. He's not Michael Jordan, though, guys. So the best player on both teams is still going to be Michael Jordan, regardless. Still going to be Michael Jordan, guys. All right, and we talk about some of the defenders of the 92 Dream Team versus the Redeem Team. They can say LeBron James could guard 1 through 5 all they want. The fact is that he doesn't do that and hasn't done that ever. So they can just talk them like Chris Paul, solid defensive player, man, but give me John Stockton, like I said. Kobe Bryant, great defensive player, probably their best defender, most consistent defender. Once again, give me Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen over Kobe Bryant's defense. And Dwight Howard was an excellent defensive player. No doubt about it, man. But like I said, you're going against David Robinson and Patrick Ewing, man. It's not going to be something that you're just going to be chilling and stuff like that. What's he doing on the offensive end? You're not getting any points offensively against David Robinson or Patrick Ewing. It's minimal. Minimal, like I said, with LeBron James having to dribble the ball or some of these guys, you're going to be hounded by the Scottie Pippens, the Michael Jordans. They're going to be all over you. They never mention guys like Clyde Drexler. He starts talking about the shooting of the Redeem Team. So Chris Mullin wasn't on the Dream Team. John Stockton wasn't on the Dream Team. Larry Bird wasn't on the Dream Team. Michael Jordan wasn't on the Dream Team. These guys are all shooters, man. Shooters. You know, it's funny because he mentioned Christian Laettner and Patrick Ewing. He said, how is slow-footed Patrick Ewing and slow-footed Christian Laettner going to play a pick and roll against Dwayne Wade or, you know, keep up with someone like Dwight Howard? So you're not even going to mention David Robinson. You see what I'm saying, guys? He purposely didn't mention David Robinson because he knows that David Robinson's athleticism is off the charts, right? And that who's going to run him down with David Robinson? And now Patrick Ewing is slow-footed now. Like, everyone, they're slow now, right? Or it's slow. Dwight Howard's so fast, man. Right? These guys play such a fast game. The guys weren't playing fast. I just don't understand what he's saying here. It doesn't add up at all, man. Making no sense when you say that they would crush it. Crush them. And like I said, the only reason why you're saying that is because you say they would crush them because the USA Dream Team 92 didn't play nobody. And that these guys weren't that good. There's all emotions and opinions, man. That's not facts there. No facts at all. Like I said, who's guarding Karl Malone? Who's guarding Charles Barkley? Who's guarding Michael Jordan? Who's guarding these guys, man? You gonna have Kobe Bryant guarding Michael Jordan? Okay, fine. You gonna put Kobe Bryant on Michael Jordan? That's great, man. Once again, like I said, what's gonna happen to Kobe Bryant on the other end, right? What's happening to LeBron James? And they locking this dude up. Scottie Pippen's locking LeBron James, man. Like I said, I just don't understand. Like, he brought up Carmelo Anthony. Like, Carmelo Anthony is this great athlete. Like, what are we saying here? No, he's not. He's not as good of an athlete as Charles Barkley or Clyde Drexler or Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan. I mean, like, I just don't get these guys. They make a bunch of weird statements that don't add up, man. You know, he said that these guys were playing, they played at side jobs. I just named the guys that they played against. They played against legit competition. Like I said, those guys showed up. The facts remain. The Redeem Team was an excellent team, a great team. But these guys have to make it something that it's not. Oh, they would crush 92 Dream Team. Why would they say this? What justice, what is this doing for the NBA's history, for basketball in general, by you trying to tear down the USA Dream Team, the 92 Dream Team, with nothing but lies and narratives and weird statements? Nothing factual here at all. The intangibles that the 92 Dream Team had, the 2008 guys just can't shine that. That's why they needed Kobe Bryant, because they did not have the mentality, the leadership all those years before. They didn't have it. So they needed Kobe Bryant to come back and lead these guys. Because LeBron James, who wasn't even supposed to be on that team, you talk about LeBron James and what he could do. They didn't even want LeBron James on that team. You brought up Dwayne Wade and Carmelo Anthony. That's great. Those guys are great players, man. But you act as if the 92 Dream Team didn't have just as great of players. So once again, like I said, man, to me, the 92 Dream Team was more well-rounded and more balanced overall as far as what they could do on the court-wise, the mentality, the mindset of these guys, the intangibles of these guys, leadership, grit, the IQ. To me, the highest IQ is going to be Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. That's the highest IQ players on the court. Dwight Howard ain't that smart. LeBron James obviously is not that smart. Who's the highest IQ down on the Dean team? Kobe Bryant? Great for Kobe. But he's got one mind versus these minds of Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. These are the geniuses of the NBA's history here, is it not? He talked about Chris Paul's playmaking. Ain't no one playmaking like John Stockton and Magic Johnson. I mean, he brought up Christian Laettner to try to take away. When was Christian Laettner playing? Christian Laettner, he was on the 92 team, but he was not on the 92 team playing like that. Stop it right now, man. Bro, Christian Laettner. And Christian Laettner was a really good player. But you bring him up and you don't bring up David Robinson because you're trying to knock the slow-footedness of them. Don't make no sense, guys. Don't make no sense at all. These are the facts. Omar Raj, don't know what he's talking about. Give you a bunch of emotions. Weird statements. Never played basketball. Dude never watched basketball before 2010. But he keeps telling you about things before that. Dude, you're a joke. Hindsight Highlights is a joke. You guys know the deal. I'll catch you guys on the next one.